Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's learn how to paint a gradient in acrylic paint. Starting off, we need a piece of canvas and a wide, flat paintbrush. We also need the colors we'll be using to create the gradient. It's easiest to choose colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. For example, purple and red. I have white on my palette as well, so I can get lighter as I work my way to the bottom of the gradient. I'll also need a cup of water and a paper towel. Okay, let's get started by toning our canvas. Dip your brush in water and then scoop up some purple paint. Work the paint into the canvas with back and forth motions. If the paint feels like it isn't flowing properly, dip that paintbrush into the water. It'll help the flow be a little bit more smooth. Continue this process until the whole canvas is covered. You want to fill that thing end to end. There should be no white spots. Also, notice the paint isn't super thick, but it's also not super watered down either. Just a nice, even purple tone. Okay, now that our canvas is toned, let's start creating that gradient. Scoop up some purple on that brush and spread it across the top of your canvas. Although our purple is transparent, layering another purple layer over top is going to make that color a lot more rich and bold. For the next step of the gradient, we'll need to make a mixture of our purple and our red. Rather than use all of my purple or all of my red, I take a little bit from each and I make a new pile where I mix them both together. Scoop up that red-violet mixture and apply the paint overlapping your previous purple layer. Use long sweeping back and forth motions while gradually working the paintbrush up and back down again. This will help blend any lines that still exist between the red-violet and the purple. After our red-violet mixture, we're moving on to a pure red color. So we're going to clean our brush. Wipe any excess paint off the brush on your paper towel. Then dip your paintbrush in the water, pressing the bristles on the bottom of the cup and swirling around to get it really clean. Dry that brush and then we're ready for our pure red paint. Same as before, we're scooping up that red paint. I want this red to be nice and bright, so I'm going to start beneath my previous mixture and then blend upward. Once again, using my long sweeping back and forth motions and working my paintbrush up and down the canvas. We have a great blend happening here, starting with a pure violet, moving through red violet, and ending with a bright medium red. Now, let's add to the visual interest by creating a value gradient in addition to our color gradient. Value refers to how dark or light the color is. So, take your red and add just a small amount of white. Keep in mind that it will always be easier to make a natural blend between colors that are very similar. So, just a small incremental change of value will do for now. After scooping my light red mixture, I lightly dip the ends of my bristles into the water for more flow. And once again, I start at the bottom using my long sweeping back and forth motions, gradually working my way up the canvas. After finishing my gradient, I like to wait for it to dry and then go back and reinforce all of my colors. This is also another opportunity to get my gradient just right. Maybe you could try experimenting here, maybe by lightening the bottom even more than I have, or adding an extra color like a red orange at the bottom. Experimentation is always a great way to develop your skills. Keep in mind that sweeping back and forth motion and you're in good hands. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this and found it helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, I'm just an art teacher. Have a day.